right. So the past month has been a comedy of errors, a series of errors, honestly. I went from having scheduling conflicts because, there are things that I have to attend, and nobody said to me, hey, Nikki, would you like to reschedule your Master Gardener meeting for another time, another day? Somebody's day is going to be thrown off. And then we didn't have internet here for 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
Those were the best days, let me tell you. When people would email me and say, well, I can't make it to this. And I'm out there and I don't know I've received an email. And even when I come in here, unless I go downstairs and inconvenience myself in one of the conference rooms to use county internet, then I did not have internet access. And of course, I've tried to move most of my office back to the office now. So it's been really fun, y'all. It has been just the most delightful journey ever. And I have oceanfront property in Arizona to sell you all next. So hold on. All right. So anyway, but things have been happening. We've been making some progress here and there. Because one tool, one particular piece of the puzzle does not stop the whole entire show, right? So I know that Charlie, you were part of my recent class, and Angelica, you were part of my recent class, and I'm sure that you all have heard me talking about it in the regular weekly meetings now as well, where I said to you all, I'm really trying to do a great job at the IG Center because I want them to invite us to do more. It happened. So now they've sent us a very cordial invite. And let me tell you about cordial. It is so very kind and nice. It was, you all are doing a great job. And we are. I want you all to know that I am so grateful for those of you who came out on the first days to get it going, those of you who have been out there to keep it going and doing other things. And of course, we've also, well, one of the days when I went out there to check our beds, I drove around that circle and the big white pots that they had those really sad palm trees in, those were just screaming, please release me, let me go. So I told them I would take those pots over. They went and got me new pots. So I salvaged what pots I could. And so right now we've got 14 pots out at the IG Center, as well as 3 largest beds, okay? And yes, I'm aware that the center of it all, where the palm trees are, is still an eyesore. And so that's what my recent email was about. And I'm going to read it to you all. Good morning, Nikki. The beds at the Master Gardeners have adopted at the IG Center look great. Kudos to you all. Yes, yes. We have beds 3 to 8. And he sent me an attachment with the overhead of them at the entrance to the IG that have only a Canary Island date palm and weeds in them. Is there any interest in the Master Gardeners adopting these? If so, can we get the plants and have our team there to help plant them? These beds are the first thing that people see when approaching the building and should look great. Please let me know what you can do.
Wow.
So our hard work, our efforts have paid off. And I'm also aware that there are a couple of other spaces that they're actively trying to renovate. And so I'm going to do my best to at least give them subtle, and for me, maybe subtle as fireworks, but subtle suggestions on better plants that they can use and manage more efficiently, right? So I answered him quickly, and I'm going to be making a plant list. I'm going to send it off to them, and we'll be supervising them with the installation. But those will be our new spaces to manage as well. So we're going to have the whole front area of the IG Center under our control, which is going to be great. It's a very conspicuous space, and I know that you all remember me saying that from our point of view, we need space to demonstrate things. We need to be able to be more visible. We need to be able to show people and let people know that we are present, right? And then from their point of view, this is a major investment that looks like trash. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It was really, really a stunning disappointment to me to see this beautiful piece of architecture, and then the landscaping is like, "Meow, meow." So we all win, right? All right, so that is my biggest part of the news. My other part of the news is that we went out to Egret Marsh last week, Thursday, because we skipped having Master Gardener graduation. I'm postponing Master Gardener graduation until our in-person meeting in August. I want us to have a grand time in August. Wendy Wilbur is going to be speaking to us. She's going to be our speaker for our first in-person meeting. And I think that it's going to be really, really nice to have our graduation at that time. I've sent off my request for name badges. So my 2020 class and my 2021 classes, all of your name badges are supposed to be arriving in the next couple of weeks. Everyone that I need anything from has been in limbo throughout the pandemic. It took me 2.5 months to get 3 shirts from our shirt vendor. And I didn't know that they were also in the process of moving, getting themselves reestablished, etc. So a lot of things that should have been done were asked for and then lost in the ether. Now I think that everybody I need in one place are affixed. So the shirt people are in one space, the name badge people are back in their office. And I am totally understanding of that, because I've been 1 foot in the office and 1 foot out of the office. My class from last year, you all will remember when I was like trying to teach you all from my house, and I left something at the office, right? And then when I tried to teach from the office, I left something I needed at the house. And that would mean when we have our 1 hour lunch break, I run to the office and then I drop off things or whatever. So I can totally understand that. And I haven't been telling you all everything that's been going on, because it's kind of hard to just look at y'all and say, look, people are between things, because you all already know this. And I am grateful because you all are truly most understanding and flexible with these things. So name tags should be available within the next 2 weeks. That order is completed and sent off again. And I just gave her 1 sheet this time. She doesn't have to keep track of each class, because it doesn't matter. Your name tags don't say since 2020, right? It just says I'm a Master Gardener. And so now I'm going to send you all a link to order shirts. All right. I'm sharing my screen with you all. So we have 2 different shirt styles that we did from 2018, where people could select different colors, and these were selected basically on like a committee kind of basis. I told you all from before to go over to Southern Embroidery when they were down here in Vero, And about 4 master gardeners did go in there. They fiddled around with the materials. They looked at the different shirts and stuff. And then they let Karen and they let Jim know. I believe that's how it went. But I know for sure that the biggest noise was from Karen, and I think Julia went out there as well to have a look. So these were the 2 styles that we'd selected. These are shirts that are supposed to be a little bit cooler and feel better to wear. And as long as you all have the Master Gardener logo on it, they're going to be legal. All right. So that is what we selected. And this is the version of the ladies' shirt. And they have like these heathered colors. So it's like you put, you know, those bathroom shower doors that have that distort the actual view. It's kind of like that. Now, if you all do not like the heathered colors, that is fine. I can order other shirts. I'm just trying to stay within a particular pricing bracket because I have a budget for these shirts, okay? Now, those of you who are already Master Gardeners, and if you want new shirts, I'm willing to add your shirts to my order. You would just have to pay for it, which is what we've done in the past as well. So that is not news either. So I need those of you from my most recent classes, 2020 and 21, to contact me, and I will send you all the links for these shirts. And what I want you all to let me know is the size and the color of your preference, okay? So I will be sending out that email. It's basically drafted already, and I just have to hit send so that you all can get to me with your shirt orders. I would like to have this order in by Friday because there are a few things that we're going to start doing shortly that I would like to have everyone in uniform fully branded for. We're no longer going to use the excuse that it's hard for me to find vendors or whomever or whatever. You all will have your name tags, you all will have your shirts and whatnot. All right, having said that, I've also spoken with my friend in Sebastian. We're going to be taking over some space over there, some of the natural area actually, where we're going to be doing basically the same thing that we're doing at Egret Marsh. We're going to do a basic insect survey just to see what species are there. And then we're going to go out in the fall, we're going to plant our plants, and then we're going to see what pops up in the way of new animals.
Are you talking about the City Hall?
No, we're not going to be doing City Hall. We're going to actually be doing a natural area. We're going to be doing something near there, but not at City Hall. City Hall would be a very poor place for us to want to be doing our insect surveys and attracting newer insects to that space. So I'll be out there at some point this week. We haven't really been able to pin it down because we only got internet back last Thursday. And then the technical troubles with everyone's computer and everything was also stirred back up. So, but I will be speaking with Kim and getting myself back in the groove with her to make an appointment, and we'll go select some spaces. So those of you who are inclined, and if you live up in that direction especially, I would like for you all to help me with that project as well. It would be great. And I'm sorry, you all, I'm answering the lady from Verizon because I'm having phone issues today. And it just so happened that this is now that they're answering me. So yes, so Egret Marsh was a lovely little experiment. They'll be back out there again the last Thursday of July and the last Thursday of August. For Sebastian, we're going to try to get in there as soon as possible and do the same kind of thing there. Linda Carroll sent me the list of plants and when to start them and whatnot. And so I now have a really good idea as to when to start and get things sorted, so that then we'll be able to say to ourselves, we know we'll have these plants to go out there and install. And then next summer, we'll do a new survey and see what new things we've invited, new things that we've attracted, because there are like maybe 2 or 3 types of butterflies that are out there right now, but definitely no monarchs, no longwings that I noticed or anything. So that's exciting, and we're gonna have that getting sorted out right now. Okay, so Nancy, thank you for letting me know that. Just plug yourself in on the
Better impact.
that's it right there. Yes, honey. Yes, that okay. Oh, and by the way, you all, I had a massive headache. So I took my medication at about 4 o'clock this morning, and right now it's a dull ache in the back of my head, but now, of course, because painkillers make me a little loopy, it makes me high, I'm a little off. So I keep on looking at my other computer to keep me on track. I had to make a real agenda, and now I'm marking those things off. So I do apologize to you all. All right, so Egret Marsh, Sebastian, IG Center. I sent out a link on Facebook yesterday for a needs assessment. So those of you who are not on Facebook, please keep an eye out for my needs assessment link through Better Impact, okay? I need feedback on this, and please share it with as many people as you possibly can. I need to be able to say that because I need to go ahead and get this done so that I can collect my data and get it ready for my report. I'm also going to be sending out another survey to you all, like I did last year, to find out what you all are interested in doing. Now that my class is over, starting next month, I'm going to be removing everyone from the VMS who does not have an actual name, who just still has their UFMG, whatever number. If I end up with 20 volunteers out of, I think it says 70 right now, I'm not going to complain. And it's not that I don't care. I do care. I just don't want to keep on making plans for a larger number of people than what I actually have. And I don't want to overwork the people who I actually have by overcommitting us for things that we can't possibly do. Having said that, the VMS is going to get called, and it's going to be called by the middle of July because I'm going on vacation.
Yay!
It's going to be a staycation, but I'm going on vacation. And when I come back, I'm going to feel even better about everything in life. That's what I'm gonna say. All right. So that is that. Our clinic at the office is up. We're open all of the days of the week, but we are not fully staffed. So if you have time, please come in and take a shift at the office clinic. We definitely need more coverage here in the office. We also need more help. Lena and Vincent are doing a great job out at the garden in Gifford, but we are getting overrun by a couple of the species that we don't like, the sedge. And let me be very clear with you all. I expected the sedge to bounce back rapidly. The good thing about our method of putting down the cardboard and laying the mulch on top of it is we're not fighting with 7 species of weeds, right? There's one very prevalent species. So I would like for you all to take a few mornings out of your life, go over to our garden in Gifford and help us pull out that sedge. I know that Vincent purchased the spray for it. I'd like to knock them back a little bit, but besides that, we need to pull up some of that sedge and we need to spread more mulch, because it did go ahead and break down a little bit because it was fresh chips when we put it in. So we need to spread more mulch and we need to pull out some of that sedge. This is not a battle that we win just by doing one thing at one time. Please remember that. And then we do have some of the maintenance out at the edge of the fence line as well, where we have some weeds. And it's easy, you just pull, because they do not have a very secure anchoring in the soil where they're growing, okay? So this is not, it is bending over, but it's not strenuous. That's what I should say. We also need some help out there in a couple more weeks when we're turning over all of the beds and doing other things. So please keep that in mind when you all are making your plans for the day to go out there. It doesn't take 10 hours out of your day. You can go out there and pull weeds for half an hour and make a big difference. Lena and Vincent have been really doing a great job with those 3 very large beds. Plus we've gotten our circle put back in. Okay, so any of you who have little pineapple tops that you're planning on planting, but you haven't done it yet, or if you're just purchasing pineapple, and please remember that there are local people who are selling local pineapple at this time of the year. Please patronize them if you can. Save your pineapple tops and help us repopulate our circle with a few of your pineapple tops.
I'm at home.
We're going to be doing vegetable gardening again. I just did one of our classes. I'm going to send out an email to the participants in that class that we will be giving away free plants at the garden in Gifford. And I'm going to be doing a couple of classes over in at McKee. And we're going to have plants that are ready for them as well. So that's going to be one way of us getting a lot more people aware and engaged with our garden space at Gifford. If you have not been out to our garden in Gifford yet, it's still a great time to visit it. Like, we've got all sorts of things happening out there, and I really want more of you all to be engaged with that project. I'm going to be meeting with a few of the people from inside of the administration and a couple of the teachers. We had half a conversation last week because they seem to not understand exactly what it is that we do out there or what we're supposed to be doing out there. So I'm going to go and take to them the Junior Master Gardener curriculum as well as Project Learning Tree curriculum, so that they will understand and will know better what it is that we're offering to the students out there. And then they'll be able to work with us and we'll have a more synergistic relationship. But yes, there is work to be done out there. And even though Lena does not complain, I complain for her. because we do have more active volunteers than the 2 or 3 who are out there. And I think that we can manage that space a little bit more efficiently if more of us were throwing in our efforts. All right, that is that. What's next? I feel like a freight train running through all of these things. We still need plants and we still need soil. So if you are inclined to adopt one of our spaces over for the fence line, please let me know. I haven't really received any outright answers from any of the nurseries or other places that I sent out my email solicitation to. So if you are inclined, or if you belong to a nonprofit organization that might be willing to sponsor one of our beds, I would be so appreciative. And I will send you all the list and the information that I sent out to the professionals so that maybe you all can share it with other service organizations that might have money or that might be inclined to sponsor one of our displays. Let me see. We're still taking donations of pots and other gardening materials and equipment. I sent out that email with Lena's solicitation a few months ago to you all. So seed starting material, organic compost. I think she had mycorrhizae liquid thing, all sorts of things. Check your emails and see what's on that list. And if you'd like to sponsor any of those items, please know that we would be most appreciative if you were to do so. I think that's it for Gifford right now. All right, I have hybrid classes going on. We have not received a schedule option from the libraries yet because all summer long, most of their programming is focused on the students who are out of school. Okay, but they are prepared to allow us back in after when school starts back in the fall. We need more people doing lectures for the Speakers Bureau. I have a hybrid schedule right now. I did one of my first classes yesterday. It worked out very well in the room where I had people on Zoom and I had one person who came for a wee bit of time. I don't really think that they were supposed to be there though, but that's okay. It worked and it allowed me to see that it could work for us to be in person with a few people and be on Zoom with others. Yes, I did that this year for Master Gardener training, but it's a different kettle of fish when you're doing Master Gardener training versus our public outreach, okay? So that worked out pretty well. I feel as if that can be a way that we provide our programming in a lot of other settings from here on out. I like incorporating the virtual aspect because we're already going to be teaching it, okay? Last year I did a lot of classes virtually, and when I finally figured out that when I step away from my computer, the sound quality declines, I asked for a headset. So now I have a headset, and that headset is going to allow me to be able to re-record some of these videos, re-record some of these lessons, and put them up so that people can access them from our extension page along with both of our public pages on Facebook. If you are not in our Facebook private Master Gardener page, please let me know and I will add you to the page. All right, you don't have to be a friend of mine to be on our private Facebook page. Susan Taylor, Angelica, and me, every now and then, y'all know me, are managing our public Master Gardener page. There, Angelica and Susan are doing a great job. Angelica takes amazing photographs, and we steal them from her page and we put them up with all sorts of information. I told you all this from last year. I'm encouraging you all to interact more in that way. And coming up, I want us to start putting out, using my little updates and information. What is it? Oh gosh, y'all, whatever it was that I used to tell you all, updates and events. Yes. I'd like for that to become like a small monthly newsletter amongst us. And I would like to be able to just put that onto the extension page for IFAS and then funnel that over to our social media outlets. So please keep in mind, if you are inclined to write, if you're passionate about anything at all, so maybe you really, really just like natives, or maybe you like planting for wildlife, whatever it is that you like, I want you to write about it. And you don't have to be an excellent writer to do good writing about something that you really like. I've learned that. Now, the things that I don't like is like, but I got to get a grade. So getting a grade is my motivation, right? So yes, I want you all to think about that, because in a couple of more weeks, I want us to get our updates and events off the ground properly. Those of you who have not sent me your list of the committees, which are the projects that you'd like to be involved with, please do get on the ball and send that to me, because we need to get those categories updated from now, so that when we trim down the Better Impacts website, I'll have a good idea as to, I only have 5 people who are inclined to do wildlife gardening, right? I'll know that I only have 4 people who want to be on Speakers Bureau. And then I won't pack a schedule for any of those events. So it's important. And I already told you all that we need more people in the clinic. Guys, I know that being at the desk right now is pretty boring. I get it. However, when I first got here, the biggest thing that my boss told me was, without master gardeners at our desk, our doors would have closed more often than remained open. With us doing more programming, we are going to need people here at the desk to be able to answer the backlog of emails, to be able to answer the phone when it rings. I would like to have less messages coming through to my extension about things that you all can manage. And that's not going to happen if we're not out and about doing what it is that we're supposed to be doing, as well as not being fully staffed on the desk. And I've gotten myself in a position right now where I will have things for you to do at the desk if people are not walking in with their inquiries. It will not be nearly as boring as it has been, because I am dedicating more of my time to other parts of the things that I need to do, instead of doing the things that I can delegate for you all. So please do sign up for the desk schedule, and let me be able to print that off and tell everybody in the office, yay, we have volunteers coming in, so we can really focus on 8 other things. Because a lot of times, if we don't have a volunteer at the desk and I'm not here, then Yvonne has to be pulled away from what she's doing, or Violet has to be pulled away from what she's doing. And that causes a lot of pressure on other people in our office who really are not supposed to be doing that work. All right. So please sign up for the desk schedule. If you are not fully on to Better Impact as yet, I need to know, so that I can send you an email. I can change your username, and I can send you an email with your new password so that you can log in and get yourself situated. If there is a problem with you utilizing Better Impact, just like how we had a problem with using the VMS, let me know. There are ways and means for you to still be able to have your information sorted and be able to do the things that need to be done. That should not be a reason for you not to get your information updated on Better Impact. We all know that I try to find 10 different ways to accommodate for any of the issues that might pop up. I am not averse to facilitating whatever it is that you need in order to get what we need to do done. All right. Restrictions are being lifted. We're going to have our first in-person meeting the 31st of August. It's going to be a grand thing to have you all downstairs in our conference room and be able to see everybody. It's going to be our regular potluck sort of thing happening again, because there will be no restrictions on any of the ways that we interact. If there is a volunteer that you're used to serving with, or that you normally see and you're not hearing from them, now is the time to reach out to them and let them know that we're going to be back in business with 0 restrictions starting in August. And if they're still inclined to serve, this is when they need to let us know. By that time, I will have removed any and everyone who has not updated on the new system. So if we have our first meeting in August and 20 people show up, I'm going to be satisfied. All right. There are a couple of smaller things that I'm working on in the background with a couple of schools. It's mostly for like those little day gardening type of event things. So there's not anything yet that I can tell you all about them, because I don't have it all hammered out yet. But as soon as I do, I will let you all know. Okay, background screenings. I do a basic background screening for you all that says this person is not a murderer and they're not a pedophile. That's the background screening that I do for you all to be able to qualify to be in this group. Now, for those of you who are going to be working with me with children present, there's a deeper background check that you all have to be subjected to. And that costs, last time I checked, $65, okay? Those of you who are going to be doing children's programming, so the Junior Master Gardener work that we're going to be doing, or Project Learning Tree, anything that has to do with children in person, you have to have an additional background screening. I do not have the funds to cover that background check. So if you're inclined to work with the students, please let me know from now, and I will print off the paperwork for you all to be able to fill it out. And it's going to cost $65 to get your background checks done. I do believe that those are good for 2 or 3 years after you've gotten your screening though. So it's not every year you're going to have to pay an additional $65 in order to serve with students. I do need people who want to serve with students though. Unfortunately, I'm just not in a position to be able to pay for the background checks at this point. Let me see what else it is on my list. Okay, I think that's just about all that I needed to talk with you all about today. How are you all doing? Does anyone have any questions for me? Do you all have any concerns? Do you all have any major complaints? I would like to hear them. I would like to know about them so that we can address them if necessary. Oh, y'all are being nice to me in person.
I was in Busy Bee the other day, and I asked them if they still gave us Master Gardeners discount. And I didn't have my Master Gardener card, so, and I didn't have a name tag on, and so I'm thinking that we might need new up-to-date cards. Because I think I must have gotten rid of mine because it had a date on it. I'm not sure. I
So
don't
the
know
people
how
at
we
Busy
did
Bee
that.
didn't give you your discount because you didn't have your MGID?
A Master Gardener card that said I was a current Master Gardener. Anyway, it's not a big deal.
It is to me.
Well, I didn't know if we needed something that had the year on it or if it just was forever. I probably should have taken my name tag with me.
I find that to be very strange. They normally just take our word for it or something.
Yeah, I think they had a new lady at the cashier.
There we go.
It wasn't one of the
All right.
guys I know.
It wasn't one of the regulars. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll just email him because there aren't that many people who are going to walk up and be like, hey, I'm a master gardener and I should be getting whatever my discount is. Okay, I just set up a blank email and I put Dan's name in it and I put the subject line Master Gardener discount. So I'll send off that email later on today.
Thanks.
That is no problem. Does anybody else have a question, a comment, anything at all?
Wow.
Wow, the crickets are chirping.
Some big bug. I don't think it's crickets.
Wow. Oh, there was a cricket in my office today. Yvonne saw him hopping on out. Yeah, Yvonne saw him hopping on out, so she caught him, which is good because, you know, I'm not necessarily afraid of crickets. I'm just not keen on the surprise.
Yeah, I don't want to jump on them.
Yeah. That's the part that I don't like. I don't like being surprised. All right. Well, if you all don't have any feedback for me right now in person or virtually live, let me know if you've got any questions or any commentary by email. I'm usually available, even if I'm slow. All right. But yes, we definitely need more help for our projects and for our current situation at the Vero office clinic. Oh, and Sebastian.
I have one more thing.
Yes.
Okay, so you know I contacted Nanette, whatever Nanette's last name is.
Yeah.
And she said, well, she has a rule that none of her gardeners would ever trim a Kunti. And so I'm going to follow up with her because I just went down 14th Ave and in front of the Barefoot Cafe there's Kuntis in need of trimming. And so I'm going to contact her again. Mm-hmm. If she tells you I'm a pain in the butt, let me know.
Nancy, you're supposed to be.
Okay. Well, the other thing is, what about the county?
What about the county?
Who would I contact at the county? Because the Kuntis at the library are the county's responsibility and they're killing them. And it bugs me. Minor detail, not like don't waste time on it. I might just go do it myself.
Even if the library is a county library, the maintenance might be in the hands of the city as well.
No, Nanette says she doesn't touch it.
County?
Yeah.
Okay, then. So then that would be facilities. That would be our guys that work here at our building, and it would be one of their work crews.
Yeah. Well, anyway, not a big deal. Might just make Reva and I both noticed that the ones at the library are just trashed. I think they use a weed whacker on them. Oh,
they probably do. They probably do.
They're trying to make it go straight up from the edge of the sidewalk.
Stop it.
Yeah, it's gross. It hurts me.
See, this is the thing with putting the right plant in the right place. So when I first went out to the Sebastian City Hall, that was one of the things that I noticed first. The ways that they abused the plumbago. When the plumbago didn't ask them to put it in the wrong space.
Wrong place.
Right?
Yeah.
And as soon as we put the plumbago further back, it's the right plant. It's just not in the right place.
Yep.
As soon as we put the plumbago further back, then the plumbago could be as big and as grand as it wanted to be without becoming a tripping hazard, without becoming a problem that needed to be cut back incorrectly all the time. So, all right. I will go downstairs and speak with Marquis and see who is
Give
in
my
charge of
email
that.
if you want, or my phone number, I don't care.
Okay, I'll ask him who is the person in charge of like the grounds and stuff and see what he says. And let me see. I can do that in a few minutes because I have to go downstairs to the mailroom anyway.
Okay,
So
well,
I'll
I
go
just
and
want to
bother
let you
him.
know, I'm still working on making them more beautiful in more places.
Yes, yes. And I may or may not be engaging in a little bit of guerrilla gardening. We'll see what happens. And I'll come back and I'll be like, hey guys, I'm messaging you all from the front line and this is what it looks like. We'll see what happens. We'll see if I get away with it, if my plan even comes to fruition. But I'm hoping so. Because then I'll be able to say to them, yeah, I'd like to take over that space. If you think that what I just did there was interesting, wait until you see what else I can do. So thank you all so much for showing up for the meeting. I know it was short notice, even though, yeah. And I'm looking forward to you all being able to come in and be more active shortly. I'm hoping that I'm giving you all enough to do, not too little and not too much, but I will find out from you all when I send out my survey, another survey in a couple of days. I just need a little bit of feedback from you all so that I'll know what it is I should be doing. Oh, yes, very, very, very exciting. Very exciting. So thank you all very much for showing up for this quick meeting. I appreciate you all. Have yourselves a lovely afternoon and the rest of the week. I'm going to be in Orlando tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to be doing the Florida Association of County Specialists or Commissioners or something. But basically, I'm going to be at the IFAS set of displays, giving away different things and answering questions about extension. I have to be seen. I'm applying for permanent status next year, and more people need to know what my name is.
Yay.
Pray for me, you all, because, you know, socializing is not my forte.
Oh, you can do it.
I'm bound to say something really... But at least I'd be memorable.
Yes, they won't forget you.
So I can look at it that way too, but I'm hoping that that I do leave a proper impression on people who will be able to read my packet and say, oh, I know her. Yes, we want to keep her. So I'm doing a lot of that sort of social activity that may or may not give me great amounts of anxiety. So yes, positive thoughts, amazing vibes, prayers, whatever it is that you push out there in the world. Yes, I want some of that greatly. Charlie, how's your Kunti growing going?
Oh, they're doing pretty good. They're over a year old now, so they're.
How big?
How big? Let's see.
Let's see. Yeah. And show and tell.
Yes.
So they're getting there.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. You're gonna put me out of business. Awesome.
Oh, Charlie, they're so damn cute.
Very cute. Are you giving them some hot water?
Then I've got the rehab section because these ones
were eaten down by the Atalas.
No, mate peas on them. So.
Oh.
So I had to get them off of the deck and then back into rehab. And some of them are okay and some not so much. But even, you know, I've lost about 8 of them, I guess.
Win some, you lose some. That's okay. That's the nature of things.
Did you lose them when it was hot and dry?
No, I was taking care of them. I was watering them and stuff. They're okay.
Good.
A couple of more years, they'll be good enough to donate at some project or other. Native Plant Society or something.
Okay, good job.
Still got, I don't know, 250 of them maybe.
Oh my goodness, you're gonna put me out of business.
No, I'm not selling them, so I'm not going to put you out of business.
Okay.
All right, folks. Well, thank you all for showing up. Have yourselves a grandiose time for the rest of the day. Stay safe as usual and check on somebody. You all know what I always tell you all. Stay safe, check on someone. I'll see you all next week if there are no scheduling conflicts and we have internet.